Hi, this is Timothy Marikun, and I'm doing a lesson for grade 4 maths on 2-digit by 2-digit multiplication. This is the sum, 83 times 15, and these are the steps that we are going to use in the sum. It's not the conventional method or column multiplication, but we're going to follow the breakdown method, which involves distribution, and there's something I call cheating, and building up. So let's get to it. The first thing we're going to do, as step 1 indicates here, is breakdown. We're going to break down 83 into its tens and units and 15 into its tens and units. So 83 would become 80 plus 3, and 15 will be 10 plus 5. And I've written them apart for the simple purpose of putting them in brackets. And we are doing a multiplication sum, so that multiplication sign is going to be put in the center of these two brackets. And that was the first step, which involved breaking down 83 into 80 plus 3 and 15 into 10 plus 5. Step 2 involves distribution. We're taking each of the numbers in the first bracket and distributing them to both the numbers in the second bracket. I'll use a red ink to show that. So 80 is going to be distributed to 80 times 10, and it's going to be distributed 80 times 5. So if I can write that down, it will look like this. 80 times 10 and 80 times 5. Do take note that we've only distributed the 80 from the first bracket, and now we have to distribute the 3, and it will be distributed with the 10 and the 5. So the next step would be to say 3 times 10, 3 times 5. So let's complete that step. So 3 times 10, 3 times 5. This looks a bit odd. What's needed now is each of these numbers have to be put into brackets, and we ensure that we have the plus sign in between the brackets. The multiplication sign is now in the brackets and the plus signs are out of the brackets. That's because we're going to work these sums out first, as the brackets indicate. Do the brackets first, work the brackets first, and then we're going to build this number up as we see in step 4. Now distribution has been completed. Our next step is called cheating, as I've written down here, and it's just something that I tell children to make them feel a little bit happy about doing their work and that they're doing something wrong. However, quite simply, it just means that we're going to block out the 0 from 80 and block out the 0 from 10, and we're going to do 8 times 1, and then we bring back the zeros. It becomes 800. This is a short method. So 8 times 1 is 8, and we bring back the first 0, bring back the second 0, it becomes 800, plus block the 0 here, it will be 8 times 5. 8 times 5 is 40, and then bring back the 0, 400, plus block the 0 in the 10. We all know any number multiplied by 10, we add a 0, so it will be 3 times 1 is 3, bring back the 0, 30, plus 3 times 5 is 15. Which brings us to the next step, which is building up. So we've done the cheating and the multiplication, working out in the brackets. Now we've got to build these numbers up. Quite simply, 800 plus 400 is 1200, plus, for the very simple reason of showing this, sometimes children will not be able to add this, and one of the things we can do is ask them to break this down, because there's a 10 involved with this 15. So we can break it down to 1200 plus 30 plus 10 plus 5, and that will be 1245. And there you have it. This is the breaking down method using for 2-digit by 2-digit multiplication. The steps again: first you got to break down the numbers. The 83 is broken down into 80 plus 3. Break down the 15, 10 plus 5, put them in brackets, and make sure that the multiplication sign is in between the brackets. The next step is called distribution. We're distributing the 80 and the 3 amongst the 10 and the 5. The first distribution will be 80 times 10, 80 times 5. We write that down. Then we distribute the 3, 3 times 10, 3 times 5, as we've done here. We put all of these numbers in their brackets, and we have the plus sign on the outside. The third step involves cheating, as I say, but quite simply it means just blocking the zeros. 8 times 1 is 8, bring back the 0, bring back the second 0. 8 times 5 is 40, bring back the 0, 400. 3 times 1 is 3, bring back the 0, 30. 3 times 5 is 15. And the last step entails building the number up. So it's 1200 plus 30 plus 10 plus 5, which is 1245. So thank you. This is a grade 4 maths lesson by Mr. T. Marippan, and it's 2-digit by 2-digit multiplication. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.